Hello and welcome to Traditional Painting the Digital Way. This is where I use digital painting apps to teach traditional painting techniques. In this video we're going to be doing a little painting for Inktober and October, and we're going to be doing sort of a watercolor type of painting. And here are some of the brushes that you can use. I use these for acrylics, but they'll also work for watercolor, or you might get some that are just dedicated to only painting with watercolor. And you can use several different things for watercolor. You can use watercolor pencils, you can use tubed watercolors. I like to use the Koi brand, they're very vibrant. Or you can use pan watercolors, and that's where they're in little hard blocks. And then for inks, you can use bottled inks and a dip pen, or you can also use just regular ink pens. You can use different liner pens. There's all kinds of different brands. The Shinhan touch liners are very nice, and there's tons of different brands of pens that you can use. So I'm going to be using Infinite Painter for Android, and if you're doing a traditional Inktober, you can just use pen and paper and ink, and that's what traditional Inktober is. But a lot of us like to do digital too as well. So here I found some vintage, old-timey Halloween postcards, and these are like early 1900s, I think, and so I wanted to just kind of combine these two and make a haunted pumpkin type of a picture. Just I like the style of the old paintings, and I like the retro look of the old pumpkins, and just kind of the way they used to draw them. So here I'm using just the pencil and Infinite Painter, and just trying to get a sketch of what I would like here. And so I was trying to get kind of just a pumpkin. I liked the pumpkin ghost that was on the broom kind of, so I was trying to get an idea of how I wanted it. And if you're following along traditionally, just use a real light pencil and just sketch it out, and don't press down on the paper real hard, because that will make it have lines on the paper. So you just want to really do a real light sketch. And then here I'm just using the bottom layer and just kind of working out what I want here. And I decided I don't think I want the broom in this one. I just want to kind of make a pumpkin ghost rising up from the ground, and just make it kind of look like one of the pumpkins has become haunted or something like that with a ghost. And so it's rising up above all the other pumpkins, and they're kind of looking, I will make it where they're kind of looking at the other pumpkin, just seeing, it kind of gives it a funny thing. I don't want this to be real scary. I'm just making a cute, whimsical type of a picture, like the original postcards there. And if you're interested in vintage Halloween stuff, there are lots of postcards that are royalty free, because they were early 1900s, and some of them even into the late 1800s. That seemed to be a thing to have Halloween postcards. And so you can look at some of those old decorations and just see the style, the different styles that they had. And I like that style. It's kind of like the illustration style that was in the original Wizard of Oz books too. And that's kind of what I like a lot. I like the look of it, and that's what these old postcards sort of remind me of. And so here I'm just working on putting the faces in sketching the faces of the pumpkin and trying to get the shape of the ghost body there. Just trying to see what would look best, and I kind of want a curved shape to make the ghost look like it's pushing the pumpkin up off the ground, and that something has haunted the pumpkin and made it rise up. And so I'm just kind of working on it with the pencils and Infinite Painter, and I just want to kind of get the hazy, filmy look of the ghost. I think this is kind of like a dress. I suppose it's a witch pumpkin. I don't know for sure. Some of those old illustrations are kind of odd by today's standards, but that's just because we didn't know exactly what they were trying to show there with some of them. But I think it's like a witch pumpkin or something. And then, of course, the moon has a face in the background. But so anyway, I just wanted to kind of get that shape and that filmy look that they have there. And so I'm just working on it, and you just have to kind of take your time when you want to do an underdrawing. If you want to get it right, then go ahead and take your time and sketch it out good, because if you get a bad drawing, it won't look good even if you had color to it. So that's what I'm doing here, and then I'm using one of the guide tools to go ahead and draw the moon, because I want it to be a crescent moon. And if you're following along traditionally, you can use like a round bottle cap or something to go ahead and draw the moon. And then I'm just kind of trying to sketch a little bit of a face. I kind of wanted a face on the moon, and so I was trying to get that look. And then I'm just kind of stepping back, and that's how you step back in digital, is you shrink it down, look at it and evaluate. And then here I wanted to go ahead and concentrate on the pumpkin faces, and I really like the look of these pumpkins. They're not mean looking or scary. They're just kind of whimsical, and so I kind of wanted that look for these pumpkins. And so I'm just working on the shape, the outer shape of this pumpkin, trying to get it correct, trying to get it kind of oval shape. And they all have their tops off, so the top of the pumpkins, so you would look hollow there. And I'm just working on trying to get the shape of the pumpkin more correct now, and just see what it would look like if I add a little bit of dark into the top, and just kind of going over it. And again, if you're doing this traditionally, you might make the sketch and then go over it again with tracing paper and put it on a good piece of watercolor paper once you've got the correct sketch. And so I'm just kind of working on the eyes. I like the look of the eyes. They're not your normal triangular look. They're kind of pentagonal or septagonal. They got 6 sides or 5 sides. And I just like the look, that because it gives it kind of a whimsical look, like they're looking sideways at someone. And they're more kind of cartoonish, I guess. And the teeth are kind of sharp, but they don't look like mean sharp or anything. They're just kind of, like they don't look really mean. Sometimes when you make sharp teeth, it makes them look mean, but they don't here because they're not real big or anything. And so, and then I'm working on the next pumpkin shape, just trying to get it. And I like the whimsical look of its mouth, where it's in kind of an O shape. So like he's sort of surprised, and so I want I want to leave that there because he's going to be sort of surprised that the other pumpkin is rising in the air. So I wanted to go ahead and leave the O shape for the mouth on that. And if you'll notice, these pumpkins have eyebrows, and that's another thing that kind of gives them a funny look. So this is the end of part 1 of my Haunted Pumpkin series. And in part 2, I'm going to go ahead and do some more detail on the pumpkins and get the drawing refined and then start on the color. So thanks everybody for watching. If you want to see part 2, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments down below, and I will catch you later.